A lot of these ships are real close. We are working on the base still. I put in a second wind turbine. These ones are both in poor positions, but they do generate enough power to basically get everything up and running now. I don't really have materials to do anything better for the moment. I've laid out some more grid work, and I started digging. Well, I suppose we can fly down here. This is going to be the hangar. It's only going to be like 4 tall, though, so stay inside of the hill. But I wanted to get the basic thing framed out, and we're going to start excavating downwards. So I've been digging this out. Right now, I'm doing it by hand, which is terrible, and I really want to get a ship going. This is our respawn point still. This has a survival kit on it, and a medical station, you know, as part of that too. So, kind of worried about tearing this down, but I think the time has come to just kind of strip this thing down. We still have our tree front here. I have a feeling when I remove the rest of this hillside it will probably go away. I'm hoping. That's pretty annoying. So yeah, I guess there's nothing to do but start hacking this down, because I have the ability to produce everything I need, refine things now. The only thing this is providing is a respawn point. So just have to be careful not to die for a little while. Most of the components we need for a really basic mining ship we can probably scavenge from this. I mean, definitely all the parts for cockpit and stuff. So it's really, I want to have something that flies, because we have a lot of work to do, and flying is just going to be a lot faster, especially because mining with drills, probably not the easiest thing to do, I would think, using a wheeled vehicle. So keep at this here and get this whole thing disassembled. It's going to take forever because I only have a level 1 grinder. But you got to do what you got to do, I guess. Alright, so I've worked for a few hours. I started manually digging this. Alright, so I've worked for a few hours. I started manually digging this stuff out, and then eventually I put the resources together. We put in a build and repair system so this could gather the stone, so then I just had to mine it. I moved everything over here. We put in a docking port because we're going to try to get my new ship going. Now, all the engines are not complete because I don't have cobalt to build more metal grids. The batteries desperately need to be charged. I'm using that new industrial cockpit. So we've got a docking port here. We should be able to fire this thing up and critical dock it. It's almost dead in terms of power. Probably put some cameras on this thing eventually. But I am going to rename all of the components on it. And I think I'm just going to do that while I'm sitting here waiting for it to charge. And then I can start getting some pretty serious mining done. I decided to go with a bigger mining ship than I was originally intending to do. Alright, so is this thing charging now? Battery. It's going to take 3 hours to charge? That's insane. I guess we do only have the wind power. I could probably set the base batteries, or the base battery to discharge. Can you do that anymore? Where is the discharge auto? So if I discharge this, it'll probably charge these batteries faster. There we go. Charge. Charge. Alright, so I'm going to sit here renaming stuff and charging batteries. Alright guys, I've been digging this out, and I've kind of decided I don't like this location for a few reasons. First of all, hillside here is a bit steep. I'm not going to be able to build the way that I really want to. The second issue is with the sheer cliff, it's actually kind of difficult to maneuver around here, and I would like to be able to use rovers, because right now I do want to build a scout rover to go find some good metal deposits and such, because energy and thrusters are both expensive right now, but we can do a rover for pretty cheap. There is a big old iron deposit. Well, I don't know it's big, but there's an underground iron deposit. It's not just a rock over there. And there's really flat, nice land over there. So I think what we're going to do, now that we have enough stuff up and running, I put some extra solar tower, I mean not solar, wind towers up to try to get the battery to charge a little quicker here. But I think what we're going to do is start packing this up and just abandon this site because I'm not real happy with it. So I'm going to pack all of the gear I can onto this right now. Probably bring 2 of those towers for now with me and just make a couple trips, drop everything off over there, see if we can get a car. I still can't build metal grids because I haven't found cobalt. I was going to say see if we can build a cargo container, but I have not found metal cobalt anywhere yet, so that's just a problem. But I'm going to tear these down, pack them up, see what we can fit on board the ship and start making some trips over there. Unfortunately, it's getting dark, so it's going to be a little hard to see what the heck's going on over here. And this thing, the battery life on it isn't great. I think it's only halfway charged, but it's still not great. So I'm going to have to reconfigure this thing at some point, but it's enough to get us off the ground. I'm going to make a bunch of trips. Oh, let's pull up. Start slowing down too. I don't know how long this thing takes to stop because I haven't gotten it up to speed yet. And it does not have a lot of thrusters on it because, again, out of grid, so... Well, not going to be able to see anything over here. But it's just like a forested area. We'll see it in the morning. I'll probably just land for the night and get some work started on... Oh god, that's a tree. Can I tell where the sun is still? I'd like to have the base. I think the sun's set over there. I'd like to have the base more or less aligned with the cardinal direction so that we get a little more sun exposure out of solar panels, because I'm not going to do them motorized because that's just annoying. Alright, let's see. Can you see the ground yet? There we go. Nice and easy. Cannot afford to break anything because we can't replace some of these components still. When are we actually done? Oh, that didn't seem good. Okay, it's just sparking. It's cool. Just sparks. No worries. So this thing can act as a work light right now. That thing really does hang low to the ground. I like that design in a way. Lock her down just in case. Alright, so I align that more or less where I think the sun is. Yeah, because there's the planets, and I think they're more or less in a straight line, so that makes sense. So looking this way, I think we'll just put down do I not? I didn't put any in my inventory. Grab as many as we can, and I need my welder. Oh, I grabbed, I think, too many of those, so I can't get my welder out. There we go. Where's my... Oh. There we go. There we go. Alright. So we'll just use that basically as our foundation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And so this is 11 blocks right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That should be 20 blocks as a beginning. And it looks like the ground isn't totally flat, which is to be expected. So I think what I'm going to start doing is just working on a basic hangar layout here. I have enough steel to at least get it laid out in a very plain fashion here. And then we'll start digging probably by hand, but I think I'll hold that off until I can get the build and repair system over here so I can just mine and not have to worry about picking up the stones. And we'll build a little underground area where we can start putting some stuff that will be a little... Well, we'll just put it on the platform for now, actually, because then I don't have to do all the digging. That's probably wise. Alright, so I'm going to get a very basic structure started here. It's going to be a little hard with no hydrogen. Should be good to go. Don't have a lot of flight time left, but we have enough stuff on here to build a connector and another battery. So we're going to get a battery and a connector set up here, charge this thing up, and should be able to move the assembler and the refinery and stuff. Pretty much everything with the next trip. And I'll probably try to salvage the battery that we have over there too. I'll probably have to make 2 trips actually. Grab the refinery and assembler and the power stuff, and then I'll grab the battery on the next trip. So this time out at least we'll get a little bit of a view of the area here. Start slowing down. So it's a big old field out in the middle of nowhere. The trees decide to load in whenever they feel like it, apparently. And there is what we have as the beginning of our base. There's grass not actually coming up through it, it just appears that way. So that's the beginning of the layout of the hangar. It's probably going to be about 3 of these, like 1, 2, yeah, so probably 6 on each side, just so we have enough for all the parking I want to have and stuff. And we're just going to set down here for now so we're out of the way and my spotlights can still reach a lot of this at night. Does it. Shutting her down and lock off. There we go. So the basic scheme is going to be, these are going to be the individual ship bays. Keep on going backwards with them. And this is, I have a design this time in mind. Unlike last time when I built a base where I didn't, I learned a lot from that base, just like free-forming it. So I actually have a design in mind that I'm going for. So we'll see how that actually turns out. Actually, that needs to scooch over one. That's annoying. So I just want it to be one beam going over. But what are you going to do? So I'm going to get these steel plates I don't need. Offload. Get the connector up and running. For now, we'll just jam. Let's jam a battery here. That'll be good enough for the time being. Well, we're wrapping up salvage operations over here, and I'm just working on getting this battery, bring it back home. And we have flight, so I will probably make one more trip out here to grab the rest of that steel just so there's not random stuff lying about. I'm trying to think, maybe I could park. Can't land exactly because I have this carrying, but I can probably park somewhere where I can still get in. Can I get in? Oh god. Yeah. Alright. I was not as low as I thought. Let's lower that down just a hair here. Stabilize flight a little bit. Is that good? That's pretty good. Probably won't be able to get everything out of here because well, you know what? Yeah, I can. Climb up the cliff. Probably. Come on, you got this. There... Might have left myself in a bad predicament here. Well, we picked everything up, but I'm gonna have to put a couple more things back down in order to get out. So we'll go like that. And I want that. Damn it. I swear I played this game before. This is attached to the ground. Yeah, I think it is. There we go. I don't know why that was so hard to grind. Alright, and just for the sake of cleanliness. There we go. Good as, well, it's all like mangled in other ways, but I don't like to leave extra blocks lying around if I don't need to. Extra trees hanging around, there's not much I'm going to do about that. I guess I used the voxel tool in creative to get rid of those. I had to actually do that for a couple things around the new home base, so it is what it is. And I put in the remaining wind turbines. So that's all good, and I'll build a merge block and install this battery a little bit later, but it's dark, so I just kind of want to get there safely and drop things off. I probably need to start losing a bit of altitude here, but I don't know how much, because again, it's dark, and the ship is not exactly responsive at the moment, because it is completely full. Stop here somehow. Oh my god, it's dropping out of the sky. That was a little terrifying. So let's drop this other battery and worry about hooking it up later. Alright, cool. So I'm going to unload this thing and get an assembler, maybe even a real assembler set up now, and a real refinery. I don't know if I have enough stuff. We'll at least get the old ones that we broke down hooked back up. And I think that's going to be it for today. Next time, I would like to start building a little reconnaissance rover, because this uses a lot of electricity, and electricity is still a pretty big problem for us. So it'd be nice to have a little rover that we can take out that's a little less important to not destroy too, because we can't replace these thrusters. That's all the thrusters we have right now. So if something were to happen to one of those thrusters, that's just it. So I'd rather get out in a little expendable rover and do a little bit of scouting. I know there's a source of iron over there, but I'd like to find some other stuff nearby. Cobalt specifically. I don't know if it exists on planets, but it must, because how would you get to space to get it? I got to have a little edit there. I got a coughing fit. Anyway, thanks again for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. And we got a little base coming along. I'll see you next time.